Whirr. Play the slow ones. Okay, so I'm just doing this in a standard tuning here. Works pretty well. E, A, D, G, B, E. And more or less just kind of 4 different parts, and then maybe a little lead part in there. For the intro, this will be good for the intro and a little post-chorus section. We just start here strumming away on an A major 7 chord. So it'd just be open A, 2 on the D, 1 G, 2 on the B. And it's just a loose, alternating, shuffling strum, right? Nothing super concrete or, regimented. So just loose shuffle on that for a couple measures. Okay, move to the D major 7. So just open D and just 2s on the G, B, and E. And same type of feel there, but just about 1 measure on that. And then just to a big E chord. Open E with the 2A, 2D, 1G, open B, and E. And that's just kind of 1 measure there. Although I think the second time we go through, or the final time we go through this whole thing, it kind of stays on the E for a little longer. So just a heads up there. Once we get to the verse sections, I think this happens more or less twice. The second verse is probably about half as many, or half as many times. So shorter second verse, but it just kind of flip-flops the chords and just does each one for 2 measures. So we start at that D major 7, the open D and the 2s. Then to the A major 7 and just 2 measures of this as well. There's a little section that happens at the end of the first verse and at the outro of the song. Definitely more of a rhythm and then a lead guitar over the top of it. Rhythm guitar, it just kind of does the same previous chords but half as long. So the D major 7, but only 1 measure's worth. Then to the A major 7, just 1 measure. And it just does those 2 chords. There's a lead guitar or a second guitar comes over it. And it does this bit here where we can start on the E string. Just hit the 4, nice slide out to open. Alright, walks down a 7, 5, 4 on the high E. Slides that out. And then just ends up on the 2 of the B. Then 1 G. Alright, and when this happens at the outro, it does all that. But at the very end, it just hits an open high E. It lets that ring out. I guess you would call this next section the chorus section. I think that fits pretty well. And it starts at a big E6 sus2 chord, which you can kind of just do like the E power chord. So open E and the 2 and the A and D there. And then just kind of do another B octave there at the 4G and just bar the 2s on the B and E under it. So we're just basically barring 2s on the A string down, but we want that 4 on the G2 and the open low E. And we just kind of strum on this for about half a measure. And then we just kind of, the high E, we just land that 2 to a 4 to make it a just straight up E6. And we strum on that E6 for the rest of that measure and another measure. Then we do the A major 7 for a couple measures. And as we're strumming this, if you want to get a little taste of, the second guitar is doing just kind of an emphasis on notes of that chord, which you can just kind of hit like the 2 on the B and then like the 1 on the G, just does a little emphasis at the end of it. Kind of pick through it and those sounds pretty good, and you just alternate between those 2 different chords for the chorus.